The public safety for the city of Hudson in order on October 10th. Roll call.
Alderperson Hall.
Here.
Alderperson Morset.
Here.
Alderperson Wakefield.
Excused.
Thank you.
This is an opportunity for anybody in the public to speak of anything that's not on the agenda. We have no one in the public, so we will move right on. To number 4, approval of September 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Number 5A, St. Pat's School Halloween event. Chief.
So it's an annual event that they have at the school on the corner of Vine and 4th. They look to close off 4th Street between St. Croix and River Streets for their celebration on October 24th between 4 p.m. and 8:30 p.m.
Any issues?
We've not had any issues in the past with them.
Move to approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. Motion passes. Number 5B, traffic safety on Canyon Pass. This is a follow-up, and we'll just segue into item C with it. But I just want to make clear that all of these traffic safety issues should go through the website, and then we will go through it through the Traffic Safety Committee meetings, and then your recommendations would come to us. I do still want to reserve the right for council people to bring directly to the agenda any issues that may not be satisfying our constituents. And that was one thing I stated from the very get-go. Having said that, let's move on to 5C, and we can review the sheet Aaron sent us. And welcome Aaron from our city engineering.
I've got a question about Canyon Pass.
Is it separate? Because we will talk about it on the
Oh, we're
next
talking
item
about it there.
too
Okay.
as well.
Got it.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's
Okay. Aaron, welcome. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, if anyone's wondering, the online application can be found under City Engineering Department Traffic Safety. So if someone's looking for a link to it.
Thank you.
So this is a list of the ones we have gone over that basically the past month that have come in. A few of them I kept on here from before with some more information. So I'll just start going down the line here. And these are all kind of new. The old ones that are from like previous discussions, like I just kind of hid the column so we can just stay focused.
Now, is item 16 Canyon Drive, Canyon Pass?
No, this is
it's a
actually
different
different.
issue?
Yeah. So I didn't keep the Canyon Pass one on, but I could bring it up on my computer or we
Well,
can
let's
just
hit
discuss
that.
it.
Let's hit it right away.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you want to do it?
Yeah, so there was email back and forth to both the mayor, myself, and Jeff in regards to Canyon Pass, and there's been some issues up there of speeding and other complaints up there. The issue is that it's a private drive. So the city has no enforcement opportunity up there, but certainly the homeowners association can purchase signs and put them up at their cost.
So is this, are we able to do an ordinance that would allow us to, or because it's private property,
Private property.
we can't do anything? Okay,
I don't think we want to go down that rabbit hole.
probably not, but.
There are other private roads in the city that will contact us, send us a letter authorizing us or asking us to enforce parking restrictions on their roads, and that's okay. But as far as traffic-related issues, I mean, it'd be no different than the parking lot of Walmart. You know, we can't enforce the stop signs there, can't enforce seatbelt usage, there's no speed limits, right?
So somebody could go 80 miles an hour in the Walmart parking lot.
They could, they might be faced with some reckless driving, which we can enforce on private property.
Okay,
So,
so reckless driving is enforceable.
reckless driving, OWI, handicap parking are enforceable on private property.
Thank you.
So I believe that the complainant was given the information in regards to it.
He was.
Okay, now we can certainly, did you have any other questions, Joyce?
No.
On that? Okay. So Aaron, go ahead and we'll start from the top.
Okay. So case number 8, this is Chestnut Drive. So this is not directly behind the high school, but kind of that Chestnut Maple Oak Street extension. So we did receive a complaint of speeding kind of around the curve where there's already speed bumps in place. So they were requesting, I guess, more speed bumps closer to the bend in the road. And we did put out a radar detector, and we don't feel like there's a huge speed concern. The 50th percentile was 20 miles an hour, and the 85th percentile was 25 miles an hour, and the ADT was around 388. So we feel like the biggest issue is more the lack of sidewalks, and that kind of prevents the safety issue. So we're not recommending more speed bumps. You know, this area kind of has speed bumps there already before we enacted the traffic safety policy, but now the policy says we won't put in any more speed bumps. So right now, I guess with the data we recorded, we're not really recommending anything. And there has been no crashes in the last 3 years.
Well, the issue there is that the street is wide. There's nobody parking on either side of it because everybody parks in their driveways, so you don't see very many cars parked on there. And so then it's wide open, and people think that it's a speedway rather than a residential street.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree with you that sidewalks are really important in our neighborhood. So we've got to figure something out to put sidewalks in there, or some separate walking or biking lane so that people are separated from the traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Was this complaint more so during the school season or just
I
off-season?
I would have to pull it up because we
I think
did
we
have a
took that
question.
complaint prior to the school. We delayed collecting data until school was in session,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's when it's a bigger problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this one actually came in August, if I'm not,
Yeah, I think it
mistaken,
did, and then we're like,
waited.
we'll wait till. Yep. So yes, that is
So
correct.
do we need to monitor it again? And then
We did monitor it after school started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is what you
So
found?
this.
All right. Okay.
All right, we'll move on. So number 11, Elizabeth Way. So this is a street in Bella Rose, and the complaint was an increase in speeding, and this resident personally did have a reckless driving accident unfortunately happen, where a car was going around the curve and kind of lost control and did hit their house. And so they were concerned about speeding. In September, so we took the radar after Vine Street was open and after the school year. And we did see that the 50th percentile speeds were 20 miles an hour and the 85th was 26. So technically we didn't feel like there was a speed concern, and the traffic volumes are very low, only 168 cars a day, to kind of indicate that it's really mostly local traffic going through the neighborhood. And they also have sidewalk, I believe, on both sides of the road. So we're not really recommending any action on this one.
It's kind of a one-off. the
Yeah, it
accident.
is. Yeah, the accident is, yeah.
Okay.
Teen driver, speeding, reckless driving.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I believe that one involves some altered attention to
Yes.
texting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is good. It's good that we see this. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, and would it be appropriate to drop the speed limit on that spot to 15? Not that.
Probably not. I mean, I was doing a little more research, I guess, for school signage. And in general, there is a statement in one of the Wisconsin documents that really there's no point, I guess, in doing the 15 mile an hour unless it's going to be enforced.
Yes.
So to me, it's like, I don't think it's really worth, spending the money or doing more 15-mile-an-hour signages unless it's like a school zone.
Okay.
Okay, so back to Cooley in 17. So we touched base on this a little bit last time, but I did do a little more research and got a quote actually from a consultant to do more of an official traffic study. So this is where we had the temporary signs up at 17th and Cooley. So the temporary signs were on Cooley just during construction. Typically, there's no stop signs on Cooley. And the request is to make those permanent, to essentially make it easier to turn off of the side street. And it sounds like this has come up maybe every few years, or it comes up every time the signs go up. So what I did, I actually did pull the crash data from the past 3 years. There have been 5 crashes at that intersection. Rear end and angle crashes, and actually 3 out of the 5 occurred when the stop sign was present on Cooley Road. So it kind of validates like our concern of more crashes with a stop sign there, just because of the amount of traffic on Cooley. Just as the due diligence, I did get the proposal from the consultant to, like, if we really want to see something formal, kind of traffic study, intersection recommendations. The quote was $6,000, and I guess right now we're not recommending moving forward with that study, but I did want to present it as an option.
What's the typical cost to put in a traffic signal?
A signal?
Yeah,
Well,
'cause we had talked about that as
for
well.
like an average intersection, I guess, I usually say 250 to 300,000.
Okay,
I would say, I mean, that intersection's a lot smaller.
Yes.
So I would have to do a little more digging for an estimate at that,
But it's
at a
gonna still be
smaller
about
intersection.
150 to 200,000 probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, the cabinets, the steel for the arms, and so it does add up. And then you have to factor, then you have to factor in ongoing maintenance, yeah.
State would never give you the right of way.
That's true.
And your trucks would never get
Yeah,
around.
it is kind of tight to build a,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would definitely.
but something we are doing, so Gerber, the auto body right at that corner, they're redeveloping right now. And so we've coordinated with them. It's kind of a weird situation. The road kind of just flows right into their parking lot. They're actually gonna add a curb along 17th and stripe out a left turn lane and a right turn lane. So the road will be wide enough to do that. So that might help at least with some cars waiting to take a left, and people that want to take a right can keep going. So I think, we wanted to see how that works out for now, really, before we pursued anything else too.
Was this same complainant
For,
as before?
As in previous years?
I think, yeah, the one we talked about last time, yeah, it's the same exact one.
Okay.
It wasn't like another one about
Okay.
it, so, yep.
Next one.
Okay. So Grandview Drive, this is, it's kind of a main connection through the city from Vine to Cooley. So it's Grandview Drive that turns into 17th. And there was a speeding concern. And we did put up the radar recorder actually in 2 separate spots, just because it's a very curvy, hilly road. So we just wanted to see, and I think both of them actually had very similar data. And I think I just put in the worst case scenario in the spreadsheet here. So we did it in September, again, after Vine Street was open. The speed limit's 25, the 50th percentile was 29 miles an hour, and the 85th percentile was 33 miles an hour, with average annual daily traffic of 2,000 vehicles. There has been 4 crashes kind of along the whole stretch between Laurel and Vine, and 2 of the 4 actually involved pedestrians or bikes at Hunter Hill Court. And none of the crashes indicated that speed was necessarily a contributing factor for the crashes. But with the data and like our policy, it does kind of trigger like, yes, there is a speeding concern. And so right now, we wanted to focus on the pedestrian safety. And we're recommending adding the in-street pedestrian crosswalk signs at Hunter Hill Court intersection. And there's also another kind of mid-block trail crossing. So we would put, you see them downtown, it's like the little kind of,
Sandwich board style.
yeah, sandwich, yeah.
The center line.
The plaques down the center line, yeah. So just to really highlight people's attention of the crosswalks, and we thought that was a relatively low-cost alternative for now. I think it is a difficult road because just of the nature of it to control speeding, so we were hoping that this would be a good first step.
Where did you put the monitor?
I put them between Canyon, I should probably bring up a map in my head, but I think one of them was right south of Hunter Hill Court, and then one of them was between Canyon Pass Road and Canyon Pass.
Wrong neighborhood.
Okay,
Stone
oh
Pine.
no, not Stone Pine Road and Stone Pine Court.
Okay.
There's like two Stone Pine
Stone Pine
names.
Avenue and Stone Pine Court.
Okay,
Okay.
yes,
So
yes,
I know what
yes.
you're talking about then, okay.
So that, yeah.
Gotta get your neighborhood straight.
I know.
Okay.
So, any comments?
So
And, yeah.
we can find the funding, so this would be moved on to finance.
Yeah, so I can touch base at the end to kind of talk about the additional funding
Sure.
needed. So we can just keep that on hold for now, but,
We don't have any public works people here, but we just take it out of their budget, right?
well, right, well, I did, yes.
Sorry, Joy.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is Oak Street and Juniper Way. So this is right behind the high school. And the concern is about lighting. So it just says there needs to be another street light at approximately the entrance of Juniper Way. I take evening walks and there's a very dark spot on the road. And so I looked at the area. I also reached out to Excel. And there is an existing light pole a little bit east of the intersection. And since it's an Excel power pole, they would put up a light free of charge if we wanted. And we would just pay a monthly charge of $13.65 a month. It's just a flat fee for these types of lights that they put up. So the cost would essentially be a monthly cost. I will say I did go back there at night, like when it was dark, and it is dark, and I hear we have a lot of dark spots in the city. I would say overall, I've heard comments that we kind of have a darker city, and this is definitely not the only dark spot. And I did talk with Miraz, the Public Works Director. He almost gets just as many comments back that people don't want lights. So it's happened before where a light, I think, has been requested, one has gone up, and then you get complaints. Especially because this specific location would be almost adjacent to someone's window.
It'll shine in somebody's window, yes.
So then it's like, okay, I think the overall issue, there's like a big issue back here. I mean, just because it's behind the high school, again, it would be nice to have more sidewalk. It would be nice to probably have a little more pedestrian scale lighting, just with, I guess in general. So it's kind of a pros and cons with this one.
That is just really a dangerous spot to be out walking, and, but we've got two cul-de-sacs back there. So the people coming out of the cul-de-sacs walking, they don't have any choice but to
Right.
go through that area.
Right.
And there's only a sidewalk on Oak, right at the east end on the north side. So we need more sidewalks back there, and, so that people can safely walk.
Yeah.
And then there's horrible visibility because of the raised, practice field. And you can't see around that corner and see what's coming. So people are they're purposely walking on the wrong side of the street because they want the visibility of being able to see around the corner.
Yeah. So something, I always, recommend the reflective vest, maybe a
Yes.
headlamp,
Yes?
things like that, I feel like can add a lot of visibility for someone.
And I think if we had more communication with the surrounding neighbors when someone complains about a light or lack of, we need to send out some kind of notification that, hey, someone's
Right.
requesting this,
Right.
just like we do when we do projects now.
Right, yeah, like do some sort of survey.
Well, not a survey, but just a
Well,
neighborhood notification.
Sure,
So they have an opportunity to come and talk and say yes or no, because
Right.
it's shining right in my bedroom or et
Right.
cetera. So we're not creating another problem by trying to solve a different problem.
yeah, exactly.
So I think maybe we just push pause there. I don't know if throwing up a light on every complaint we get
Right,
is the answer. It's not about the cost,
yeah,
but do we do our due diligence with the neighborhood and saying, hey, is this yes or no?
yeah,
Is there a need?
right,
And of course, we'll always err on the side of caution and safety. If that
I think
was-
that, yes, there is a need because, first of all, this is a route to school. So on the dark mornings, that is an issue. And then, so several years ago, we had somebody from the West Central Regional Planning Commission come and just take a look and just wrote up a little blurb about it. He didn't call it a report because it wasn't a report. It was just.
Would have to pay for it then.
We didn't have to pay for it. And, he was there and it was raining out in the morning, it was dark, there was a kid bicycling to school and the visibility was horrible, and then there's no lighting, there's no sidewalks, there's no bike path. The safety there is just a risk.
It'd be a good opportunity. Is that adjacent to the school property, you
Yeah,
said?
it's right
Yeah.
behind the school
Be
property.
a good opportunity to try to have a joint discussion with them and see, maybe split some costs of something that needs to be addressed.
Well, yeah, I've talked to Nick about it and his response was, sidewalks are expensive and I can buy a lot of desks for the cost of a sidewalk.
Well, you
But
can't take
I've
that
also
away
told
from a kid getting hurt. So
Yeah, exactly.
You throw that back at them.
Oh, yeah.
It's about safety,
It is,
Mr. Superintendent.
yeah.
I mean, that's the only way that we could legitimately get something done together. And offset costs is working together. I would think that that's something they would want to do.
I would hope so.
Yeah. I'm not objecting to a stop light, or a stop sign, a light up there, but we should ask the neighbors
right,
first.
yeah,
Okay, so the next step is to ask the neighbors.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Next item, Oak Street. Or is it?
All right. Yes, so another Oak Street one. So this one, again, behind the high school, same location essentially, just saying that, so this is more, there needs to be speed limit signs going both ways on Oak Street behind the high school. It is dangerous to walk there. And we did agree as the committee that it should be marked as a school zone because it's directly adjacent to the school. So I put together some school zonage signage and we did get a quote and it was gonna be approximately $2,100 to get all the signs and posts and.
Is that
and-
4 of them, you're thinking? Or why is that so much?
Yeah, it just adds up with the signs and the posts, so it was more than 4 because it's like the school sign, then you have the 15-mile-an-hour
Yeah.
sign, and then I think I did 2 more, like you do them at the 2 ends, and then I did one in the middle.
Okay.
So, that one, it is a little higher cost, so we don't necessarily have any budget for that one. But again, we can keep talking about the budget maybe at the very end. And if you guys want to go ahead with a recommendation, pending funding, I guess.
Okay. The next one. Canyon Drive.
or I guess, do we want them to kind of approve it, or
Yeah, I think that those should be approved.
What, 15?
that?
Yeah.
20? Yeah, I
School
thought we
signage.
were gonna do that at the end.
Oh, or at the end, we'll just come up with the list. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay. So then West Canyon Drive, so this is the, Red Cedar Canyon neighborhood. And this was for vehicle speeds. It did say specifically Monday afternoons. We put the radar recorder out there and in September, and we found the 50th percentile speed was going the speed limit, 25 miles an hour, and the 85th was 30 miles an hour, and the ADT was 386 vehicles. So I guess it's right on the cusp of us kind of considering it a speeding concern. And I didn't see anything specific, I guess, on our radar for like the Monday afternoons necessarily. But we did think, since it is, again, very low traffic volumes and they have sidewalk as well on both sides, that we didn't recommend any action on this one. And there was no crashes in the past 3 years.
Okay,
Okay, the next one is Hunter Hill Court. So this is off Grandview, just south of Vine. It was pedestrian safety. It is a cul-de-sac road. And so it kind of said excessive traffic, turnaround, speed, children on the cul-de-sac road. I mean, I reached out to say, have you noticed a lot more since the Vine Street project? And they made it sound like, no, it's kind of always been an issue. So we are just recommending adding a dead end sign at the beginning just to indicate that it's a dead end and hopefully kind of reduce the amount of traffic going in there that doesn't actually live in Hunter Hill Court. So we have existing signage for that one, so that one would be fairly easy to implement.
okay.
And then the last one is the Carmichael and Hanley intersection. So someone just asking how many accidents have occurred over the years. The intersection's too wide, the offset turn lanes make it hard to turn and confusing for unfamiliar drivers. And we, I think this kind of came in right before we finished our highway safety project at Hanley and Center along Carmichael with the flashing yellow arrows. So, we knew that this intersection had some safety concerns, and we've addressed some with the signal modifications with the recent grant, the HSIP grant, and that was completed in August. So the offset turn lanes is not ideal either, but that would take a lot more major reconstruction to fix that. So that would definitely be something I would look into when we go to like fully reconstruct the area. But right now, we're hoping that the flashing yellow arrows really reduces some confusion and crashes.
Have we seen a reduction up there, chief,
In crashes?
from Center to Carmichael or to Hanley?
Not initially, but didn't we then change them to dedicated turns?
Yeah, we did.
And then
a
we
few.
saw a drastic impact with that.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was a little disappointed that, and maybe we just got lost in the stuff. We didn't have the back here on between Commercial and Walnut.
Oh, okay.
Whether you
That
guys talked about that.
I guess we actually didn't talk about it. It was never entered, I guess, in the traffic safety, so
we
that one
forgot
maybe
about it.
fell off the radar.
Wasn't on the spreadsheet.
Right. So we'll have to,
If you can put that back on.
yeah, we'll discuss that next time then, yes.
And then I talked to you about Carmichael and Vine as well.
Yep, they're putting in a stop bar. They're gonna paint a stop bar on the right turn lane,
Oh, okay.
like today, I thought.
Okay, are they gonna move that sign back then too?
I don't know. I told them to put the stop bar 4 feet from the crosswalk. That's like MUTCD recommendation, so
Okay.
we'll see if they line up the sign with it, or we'll ask them to, but,
I got a complaint about Vine onto Carmichael, so the students are coming from.
I thought you brought that up.
I have brought that up
Yeah.
before, and then they put in a a stop here sign, but it was so close to the crosswalk that, and people were ignoring it anyway, so it wasn't working.
Okay.
So thank you.
Yeah, so hopefully the stop bar highlights the stopping a little bit more.
So we are looking at 13, 14, 15, and 17 for funding source. Well, not necessarily funding for 17, but approval for those 4 items. They should go, all can go to finance to find funding.
Yeah, I don't think 13 and 15,
Yeah, 14 would just be absorbed into the city's total. like-
basically, yeah.
Well, you want us to pull the neighbors though first, right?
Yes,
So maybe, should we
but,
skip?
just because we're dealing with the money,
Yeah.
send it to finance as
Yeah,
well.
oh, yeah, absolutely, yep. Yeah, I guess I did ask, the Public Works Director to provide me a few numbers, so, for lighting in general, actually, so electric utility costs on street lighting is $130,000, and he just adjusts that budget based on the previous year's expenses, or knowing that costs are gonna go up due to the utility fees. And so, essentially, if we add more lights, we just keep increasing that.
Well, we've made a conscious effort to change them all out to LEDs. so
Yeah,
we should
yep.
be-
Yeah.
well, we should be in the good with the cost. so.
Yeah. And then as far as roadway signs and supplies, the budget is typically 15, so he gave me 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. The budget has been about $15,000, and some years it's a little bit under, some years it's a little bit over. So that just gives you a general sense. That's kind of where we've been trying to take a lot of the signage stuff, maybe from that budget, but it's really minimal, I guess. He really is meant to be more for repairs and things, not necessarily a bunch of new stuff. So it's really something that I do feel like needs to have discussion. Either a lot of these things, they just add up especially after we go to a whole year. So in some ways, we either might have to recommend waiting a little bit longer, see if there's extra budget in the signing budget, or is there extra budget here or there, or we can try to dedicate, some funds specifically towards this.
We may have to in the future because for safety's sake, I'm not going to push off projects that are recommended to be done
Right,
because the data's showing us to do so.
yeah,
And then we're just looking like fools. And
Right.
we're going to put ourselves in jeopardy.
Well, and it's the council's responsibility to see that the funds are there to manage the policies that they're.
right,
So-
right,
It's on us.
yeah,
Yeah. So anything that comes, and I thought maybe this year we were a lot better than we used to be, because before we were just approving signs and sending it to Public Works, and then
right,
they're tough, pay for it.
right,
But we've been very conscious of not trying to do that, so.
okay, yeah,
But this one, I think whenever we're doing this, we send it to finance
yeah,
and find a funding source instead of taking from certain things that are already maybe dedicated.
right, yeah,
Because we have that ability to look elsewhere.
right. Okay,
All right, do you need a motion to?
Yes.
Okay, so let's send numbers 13, 14, 15, and 17 to the 13, 14, no, 13 and 15 and 17 to the Finance Committee, well, 14 as well, but also authorize or request that the neighbors be consulted on number 14.
Yes.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Any further discussion on it? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Aaron.
okay, yeah,
Appreciate that.
of course.
5, 6, do you want me to excuse you if you want?
Oh.
Otherwise, you can hang out and listen to this wonderful, riveting information.
I'll probably stay. It shouldn't be too long.
6, informational items, are there any?
I have a question. So I got a request from a first responders in the township of Hudson are being changed. Unfortunately, John isn't here to answer the question, but do you know anything about what's going on there and why?
Well, I don't think we can talk about it because it's not on the agenda. I don't know how informational items, I don't know, that's like maybe you're introducing your pancake breakfast and how it went.
Okay.
I don't think,
It's
it-
not to just explain to the public something that might be of importance to them?
It'd
We're
be the
not.
township anyways, it wouldn't be the city.
No, it's not, but it affects people in the city in some ways too, though.
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't? Okay.
I guess I would just,
All right, we'll have to, I'll ask you about it
Cautious.
after the meeting.
yeah,
Okay,
there's a lot more probably to it than we're aware of.
okay.
7, let's go to EMS is updating, and then Chief Spillman is going to
Yep.
update that as well, and go ahead and do your fire as well.
Yeah, John contacted me today. He's got a finance meeting at Lakeview tonight. He couldn't be here. His update was they're fully staffed again. They did receive 2 of their brand new ambulances. So they were very happy about that. And they were able to send one in for refurbishment then, now that they got 2 new ones. So they were pretty happy about that, so. Fire department wise, yep, like you mentioned, we had our pancake breakfast Sunday. We had over 500 people in attendance, so it was well attended by the public. I think it's one of the best ways to get the public in to see us and see everything, so I know our guys really enjoy doing it, so that's good. It is Fire Prevention Week this week, or Fire Prevention Month, so we are in the schools and the daycares almost every day right now doing fire prevention and everything, so if you see them, they're out there. If you see the trucks out a lot right now, that's what they're doing. They're going and doing their Fire Prevention Week stuff, so.
Very nice.
That's all I got.
Any caution with fires? Is there a burn ban? Is there not a burn ban?
No, there's not a burn ban. It is elevated fire danger right now. There's not, the DNR has not put a burn ban on it within the state. We have not discussed it at all with the fire chiefs in the county. It's still fairly green out there yet. I think as we progress any longer without any precipitation, or if we get into the winter without snow, there might be a bigger danger. But like anything, just remind everybody, if you're gonna burn, attend it, make sure it's out when you're done.
Yeah.
But there is no restrictions on right now.
Okay, great. Any questions? Police Department update.
So our monthly calls for service list is attached. You'll see the almost 2,300 calls for service that we did. A very large uptick in extra patrol for the speed enforcement, especially during the school year here now being in session. Traffic stops remain up. Crash data remains high. Everything else has pretty much stayed the same. You will start to see miscellaneous calls for service go up a little bit. We've had to start tracking. We wanted to start tracking more accurately what our officers were doing. Not only the activities, but the time they're taking on those activities. So generally, if someone's getting gas in the car, or if someone's checking their emails or writing reports at the station or following up on calls, they're not generally tracked. So we weren't capturing that data. So now they've been asked to start a miscellaneous call for service to track what they're doing in those time frames. So you might see an uptick in those as we move on. But that's the reason for that. As far as staffing goes, we're the one position short because of the medical retirement earlier this year. We're doing the hiring process currently for 2 officers, one to fill the retiring Lieutenant Munich, to backfill that spot, and then the medical retirement that we had. So we'll be doing interviews next week, interviews and physical testing next week for those. End of the month, Police and Fire Commission will do their patrol interviews, and after that, then we'll start backgrounds and hopefully have some job offers out by December. Then we also have our sergeant promotion to backfill the lieutenant's promotion to fill Lieutenant Munich's spot. So it's going to be a busy couple of months hiring and promotions for us.
Your list is 16?
We had 18 applicants.
Okay.
Police department will interview all 18 and then submit the ones we believe are qualified to the Police and Fire Commission.
Okay. Any questions? Good. Number 8, communication items for future agendas. Anything? Nope. All right, number 9.
Move to adjourn.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.